Hello. Hey there. And welcome to my show. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, coming to you today from a campground. I finally got out again camping, and I always enjoy it. The only thing that's going on here is that my internet access is slow. And if you've got internet access and it's slow, you know what it feels like, right? I've been trying to upload to my YouTube channel, and it's been going all day, and it's only at 28%. Hey, for those of you who are new and are not familiar, my show is designed to teach you the ways of the law of attraction to help you find out that you are your biggest asset. And today I'm going to talk about the way you think. And I talk about for those of you who are familiar, I talk about that a lot because your thought process and the way you think about things affect everything that goes on in your life. Also, the fact that you want to think in such a way that you drive yourself to be the best that you can be. So today I am going to take my information from chapter 4 of my Christianity, the Law of Attraction, and the One Command. It's interesting, let me tell you, because somebody will come up to me and they say, you said so-and-so and so-and-so. And I go, I did? Yeah, in your book, in chapter so-and-so. And there are times when I actually forget what I wrote. I live it, but the exact words may not be there. So I decided that I'm going to review my own book. And you may find this funny, but when you talk to most authors, when they're in the middle of writing a book and the words come and the words flow, and yet they say it in a certain way at a certain time, it's perfect. But unless we go back and review the things that we've written, there can be a time when we forget. You might have written a letter or an email to somebody many years ago or a while ago, and they said, yeah, you said so-and-so. Or when I talk to my kids and they said, Mom, you remember when you did so-and-so? And I go, no. Oh, yeah, and we did this, and this. And I said, well, do you remember? And they go, no. So it wasn't important to them what I remembered, and what they remembered was super important to them, but for me it may have been something regular. And I know that's a long explanation, but I just wanted to tell you that. So chapter 4 is entitled As a Man Thinketh. Now, when you look at how a man thinks and how you think and how you want to have your life be, now, it actually is from Proverbs, and that's Old Testament for those of you who are not familiar, all right, but they are the 23rd chapter of Proverbs, and it's number 7, verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Interesting. The 23rd chapter of Proverbs talks about wisdom and riches and refers to a man with an evil eye because his heart is not with you or with the person he was with. It has a greater meaning, and a literary essay was written in 1902 by James Allen, and it was entitled As a Man Thinketh. And the book he wrote was based upon a poem, and I'm going to read that poem for you. Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the toll of thoughts, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. And many times I've talked to you about that. That when you look around you and you look around the world that you live in, you look at your job, you look at your family, you look at your home, you look at your car, you look at the things around you and you realize, or you may not realize, but the way you think has put you where you are today. I was listening to a webinar today, and the gentleman talked about this particular thing. Many times we hear of, you make a first impression, people see you. And he was talking about doing a major presentation for a big deal in front of this CEO of this company. And so he talked to the guy, and he, he was dressed in his suit and tie. And the CEO said to him, well, I'm going to tell you this. He says, how you take care of the least of things is the way you take care of most things. He said, and when you walked in and I looked at your shoes, I said, if he doesn't care about his shoes to go with the rest of the look that he has, how will he take care of my business in the smallest areas? Another guy chimed in and he said, he says, I'll go in and I'll look at somebody's desk and see what their desk looks like. And I had to laugh because when I was working, my desk was always a mess. There was papers and books and everything. And every now and then I'd get, more than every now and then, I'd get disgusted with the mess and I'd go in and totally clean it up. But he said yes, and he said when he interviewed someone, he would walk them down to their car. And he said then I'd see what the inside of their car looked like. And then that would tell me also, how does he take care of his space? And if his space is a mess, how is he going to take care of my business? But each one of those is an example how the person thinks. That person didn't think about cleaning out his car, or the other guy didn't shine his shoes. There was a time when, men that was a ritual at night before they got dressed up to go somewhere. They shine their shoes because they wanted that spit polish, especially if they'd been in the military. So looking at that, look around you and see what your life is like. Is your room a mess? Is your area clean and neat? Or, I say many times, I have neat piles all over and I know what's in each pile. Sometimes you run out of space and you don't have room to put things, and so you wind up putting things in awkward positions. But do you make your bed every day? I used to know that when I made my bed each day, it was an act of accomplishment before I walked out the door. And some people go, well, you got to air the bed out. Well, I go, it's okay. I'm going to make my bed, and I have this great feeling of accomplishment when I walk out the door. In the bathroom, my towels are hung up, my washcloth is hung up, my sink is cleaned off, right? And it's a feeling of accomplishment. Now I may have a box of papers sitting on the side somewhere, but that process of making the bed makes me feel good when I walk out the door. But let me get back. to the whole thought about as a man thinketh. You think about different things. You think about people, and you have opinions about people. And if you think someone is doing you wrong, you have thoughts about that person. But here's the deal. As you think about that person, whether it's positive or negative, it affects that person. That energy that you were giving out, that thought affects that person and you. And even though you may say, well, I'll never tell them about the issue that I have with them, you will, in your actions, in your speech, in the things that you do, will show that person how you think about them. You can't hide it. No matter how you try, it will come out how you feel about them. So if you don't trust them, you will do things. Your eyes will betray you. Your body language will betray you. So you have to figure out, well, why don't I trust them? Or why don't I like them? What is it about this person that's negative? Or what is it about this person that's positive, and why do I think about them in that way? And then if you are going by just something you heard or something you felt, don't you think it's time you had a conversation with that person? A nice, calm, loving conversation. And maybe you will find that you were not correct about what you felt, and maybe you'll find out that you were. But you have to do the legwork and figure out why you think that way. I talk about in the book, I say in the story I'm about to relate, I'm going to change the names to protect the guilty. I was at a networking meeting with some fellow business owners. I heard Jane say to Richard, "How's business?" Richard's response was, "No good. Everything is slow." Jane chimed right in with, "Yes, isn't it terrible? It is the same for me." In this instance, and in many others across the country, this attitude is a self-fulfilling prophecy. How does this mindset, how does this mindset affect their business? Well, they act and react as though there are few people or companies to buy their goods or services, and therefore their profits are low or non-existent, right? Now, if they would change their mindset, they would find many customers willing to purchase from them. Now, there are others in the same business and they're having a best year ever. They act according to their beliefs, therefore they are out marketing their goods and services to all who will listen. And it was within Jane's and Richard's power to believe and rise to the top. But they acted on their belief of lack and they received little. So where are you in your thought process? Are you thinking you can't do any better, or things won't change, or you have no way to change your circumstances? Why, or why should you behave in a certain way when somebody else behaves in a way towards you? Do you know that if you change the way you treat a person, you start treating them with love and kindness and thoughtfulness, and for a while they won't change. They'll just go, what is going on with this person, right? But then they may start to change. They may start to pay attention, and they start changing the way they treat you. Well, let's just say that your thoughts are truly things, because you act on the basis of your thoughts. All of our relationships are internal, and therefore when we change our internal relationship, we change our external life. So the way you think about things affects the way you act. If you believe you can never succeed at work, you will not, even though you have the ability to be the best. You are always the master and captain of your fate. Therefore, when you change your thoughts, you change your actions and your life. You know, we act on our thoughts, creating our world as we go. And I was once told, your perception is your reality. That gentleman was absolutely right. I had the belief about our friendship, no matter what he said, my thought would not change, and therefore my thought created my reality. So we are conscious of almost everything in our lives. We are aware of our surroundings. However, what is consciousness? It is difficult to explain. And let's just say that whatever you are awake and alert to is consciousness. Our consciousness is based on the level of brain waves or speed of mental activity we use, and we lapse in and out of different brain waves all day long. There are multiple brain waves. There's beta, alpha, theta, and delta, and there's also a really fast one called gamma. And most times you're in beta, which is the yes, no, everything is black and white, and this is your decision and calculating. This is the left brain axis. Alpha is when you're deeply relaxed, you're watching television, you're reading a book. Theta is subconscious mind at work. You're in deep tranquility, you're passive. This is your dream state. This is daydreaming also. And delta, this is a deep sleep. You are deeply asleep. So when we access our alpha and our theta minds, we are able to get the benefits of having more, or I should say slower brainwave activity. And it includes having a connection to our subconscious mind. We can do advanced problem solving, or we have strong intuition and super learning abilities. We experience the many benefits of accessing our super creative self. Thus, we're able to reprogram ourselves with positive ideas and beliefs. By changing let's say by recognizing when you have negative thoughts, by recognizing what you tell yourself each and every day, and it may be in the middle of the day, or you're getting ready to do something, and you may say, "Oh, that's going to be hard," or "I can't," or "I don't want to, but I need to," or "I don't know if I can get that job or not," and you don't even apply for it. When you should apply for it, because you might get it, or maybe you're afraid that you might get it, But be aware that the way you are thinking and going, then that will have an effect on your life. One scripture that I found very enlightening as I started studying consciousness and how your brain works and that kind of thing was from Matthew 9:27-30. It says, as Jesus went from there, 2 blind men followed him, calling out, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." When he had gone indoors, the blind men came to him, and he asked them, now this part is really important, and you may never have paid any attention to this. Do you believe that I am able to do this? Yes, Lord, they replied. Then he touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith will it be done to you." And their sight was restored. Now, what's so important about that? He asked, "Do you believe that I can restore your sight?" Right? And they said, "Yes, Lord." He touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith will it be done to you." So if they really were just saying it because they heard about it, because they did, because the other people who had said they had been healed, and they go, "Yeah, well, we'll just go try this." And they said they believed he could do it, but inside, that program running in their subconscious was going and saying, "This is a scam, this isn't true, but I'll try it anyway." But if they had felt that way, and many times you've done things that you go, "Well, I'll try it anyway." I'm trying a new piece of food, right? You've never tasted before, and you go, "Okay, I'll taste it, but I don't know." And somebody makes a face while you're eating it, you're not going to like it. But if people are smiling and say, "Oh, you really like it." It's like calamari. I would not eat calamari. Calamari, for those of you who don't know, is octopus. And all I could think of is the suction cups. I'm going, "I don't want those suction cups off my mouth." Well, I didn't realize they got rid of this, they cut that part off. And finally, I was out to dinner with my son, and he said, "Mom, taste this." And so I tried it, and I liked it. But I would not try it before because of the way I thought. My mental state of the way I thought caused me not to eat that calamari. So just think that if these gentlemen did not believe, then their eyesight wouldn't have been restored. We must have faith in the fact that what we speak and believe will come to pass. When you have set your intention, you must believe that it is formed. How many of you set your intention to do something, but you halfway do it, you don't believe it can be done, you're just there, right? Well, suppose you want to have activity in your business. If you believe that what you speak and believe is true, speak the type of activity that you want. Somehow, something takes our thoughts, and we don't know exactly what happens, but somehow when you speak that thought and you believe that thought and you believe that statement, our thoughts, the subconscious gets a hold of it and executes it for us, or gives us the inspired actions to perform. That is universal intelligence, infinite intelligence, or you can call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it the Creator, whatever you choose. But it gets a hold of that true thing that you need. And again, one thing I used to didn't do is put a date on it. I need this by this date, right? So once we believe that the mind has power, when we think about something, we shall see what is manifested by our thought. What is created depends on the word or thoughts that we are sending out. So Jesus told the blind man that according to your faith will it be done to you. They had the faith that Jesus would give them their sight, but had they not had the faith that they could be healed, they would have remained blind. It is the same with us. When we ask, we must believe that it is given. So I hope that those thoughts for you today will cause you to begin to think about the way you conduct your life, the way you set intentions, and maybe you don't deliberately set intentions, but we all set intentions each day. When we get up and we say this is going to be a good day, or if we say it's going to be a bad day, or I don't want to do whatever, these are not deliberately setting intentions, but they are. So think about this one thing, and that is, think about setting your intention each morning. It's like me making my bed in the morning before I walk out of my bedroom door. It's going to be a good day, and I have already accomplished something before I started my day. Thank you for listening today. Please share the link to this show with your friends and family so that they can learn how to be the best that they can be. Visit my website at commandingyourlife.com and follow me on Facebook. Have any suggestions for the show? Just contact me by emailing Beverly at commandingyourlife.com. Be sure to join me on the next episode. As you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so.